Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Robinson again, and we're going to continue our studies. We are reviewing for the Grade 7 New York State Mathematics exam. Here's our show number 2. For 2018, we are taking examples from the release questions from the 2017 exam. If you need help with your homework, there's Dial the Teacher Homework Helpline at 212-777-3380 from Monday to Thursday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Don't forget to watch our show Math Time and Peak Skill on Tuesdays from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Optimum Cablevision Channel 15. We also have study videos on YouTube. My channel name is Dan Robinson. You'll see my smiley face there. And you can watch our latest release, PKMS Math Prep 18, and subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know that we're doing good. Write us a little message and tell us what we need to do in order to keep you happy. You could tweet me at drobmath1. All right, here we go. So Jen stopped at a rest area A along the side of the highway. His map, shown below, here's the map, has a scale of 1 inch to 35 miles. So Jen planned to stop at rest area B next. What's the actual distance in miles between the two rest areas? So here's rest area B, which he plans to stop at next, and here he is at rest area A. So, and the distance between the two on this map is 2.5 inches. Well, when they say scale, they're talking about something that they drew to represent the actual footage or mileage in this case. So you have inches, they're being compared to miles. And I'm going to use proportions because that's deals with comparisons very nicely. So I have 1 inch, which is the scale, is going to be equal to 35 miles. So here we have the distance between the rest area being 2.5 inches, and I'll line that up neatly under the 1 inch. And we want to know how many miles is that, and I'll call that X miles. So we have what's called proportions here, and when we're dealing with proportions, we have to cross multiply to solve for the missing unknown. So let's cross multiply and see what we get. All right, so we have 1 times X equals 2.5 times 35. 1 times X is X. And let's get my calculator out to help me out with 2.5 times 35. And enter. Ooh, I got into scientific notation somehow, so it's always good to make sure you're not in scientific notation. So let me go down to normal. All right. And let me just check everything else. I'm in math print. That's good. Then I'm auto simplifying. So let's quit that. So there we go. So 2.5 times 35 is equal to 87.5. So let's please minimize that. So I get 87.5, and that's the miles we're looking for because we had the variable x to represent the number of miles. So that would be 87.5. So that's how many miles 2.5 inches would represent. So there is my answer, 87.5. That's the next question. All right. It paid $2.94 in sales tax on an item that cost $42 before tax. At that rate, I always like to emphasize that because when you see that not only should you underline it, but you should also be thinking fraction. How much would he pay in sales tax for an item that costs $58 before tax? All right. So, as I said, there was $2.94. That was a sales tax before the $42. And that I'm going to put as a fraction because there's my sales tax and there's my uh, denominator because they said at that rate. So what rate are they talking about? This fraction rate. And I'm going to change that into a percentage because sales tax normally is a percent, and which means I got to multiply my fraction by 100, and I definitely better get my calculator so I can figure out what is this rate of sales tax they're talking about. And there's more than one way to do it, but I like this way. It's a little more direct. Let me clear this out of my screen and move my calculator over here. All right, 2.94, and let me push my fraction numerator over denominator button, 42, and let's go to right arrow, times 100, and we get 7, and there is my percent. So the sales tax rate would be 7%. That's the tax rate. But that's not the end of the question. They want to know how much would he pay in sales tax for an item that costs $58 before tax. So before taxes were applied, he bought something that's $58. Now, in order to put the tax on it, we have to multiply this by 7%, which is what we found up there. And now this will give us just the amount of sales tax, and that's all we need because we want to find out how much is the sales tax. So I got to get my calculator one more time. So let me just multiply. Let's clear this out. 58 times 7, and there's a percent button up there, percent, and this will give us $4.06, which is the amount that he would pay for. Does this come out? Okay. For sales tax. So it'd be $4.06. Now, how do you know that's correct? Well, we can check it. If the sales tax is 7%, let's just make sure we're correct. So let's clear this and go back to the very start of this thing because it says this guy paid $2.94 sales tax on something that cost $42. So if my sales tax is 7%, let me multiply $42 times 7% just to see if it comes out to what they say he paid. And that's $2.94. So I know that the 7% is correct. So that's just to check yourself. And as I said, there's more than one way to do this, but I find this more direct. So we were interested in the $4.06, which he paid for sales tax. Was they asked how much he paid for the item that cost $58. So that would be $4.06. Nice question. So check your understanding. If you understand what's going on, vote A. If you're not unsure, you vote B, and write down your questions and bring them in. Rewatch the video. That may help, and I'll be glad to answer them in class tomorrow. All right, here's one more question. Kayo used wire fencing to form a border around a circular region in his backyard. If the radius of the center circular region was 5 yards, what was the total length of the border rounded to the nearest tenth of a yard? So I have a picture of a yard. Okay, so I pulled out a picture of a circular home, that's surrounded by a fence here. So the pet area is all in the green here around the home, and there's the dog, and the boundary is this brown fencing around it. So we are dealing with this uh, radius here. So there's a radius, and it goes from the center of the home to the edge of the round border there. So we want to know what is the total length uh, of this distance around this fencing here around the home. So the radius is 5. So we need to find the diameter. That would help us out because that's one formula we could use because there's a reference sheet that we had. Pull that out a little bit, and hopefully you remember when we're dealing with circular, we're talking about the circle. So there's the area formula and there's circumference formula. So we're talking about circumference because it goes around, and that was the key word. So we want to use the circumference formula. So they give us the radius, but I like the diameter myself formula. So pi times diameter. So let's just use our diameter formula for a second. So C equals pi times D. So let's see, the radius is 5. And this would be the radius, which is 5, which is half of the diameter. If we drew the other half of the diameter, that radius, that would be 5 also. So that means the diameter is equal to 10. So that means our circumference would be pi times the diameter. So pi times the diameter, and diameter 10, 10 pi, and all we have to do is type that into our calculator, and that'll give us the answer real quick. But just want to make mention of the other formula because it takes 2 radius to, or radii, to equal to 1 diameter. So if you want to use that formula, you notice you're going to get the same thing. The radius was 5, and you still have a times 2 pi. 5 times 2 is 10, and you still get 10 pi. So now it's just a matter of getting your calculator to multiply. Leaving it like that would be called pi form. So we don't want it pi form. In this case, we want to round it off to the nearest, I believe, tenth. Okay, so let's see, enter. Well, I'm in math print, so let me get it out of math print. So let me go down to classic. So classic mode. I'm out of math print. Math print. It's very good though. But so let's try 10 pi. Let's press enter. There we go. So we get the numbers that we need. 10 pi is good, but they don't want that. They want rounded off to the nearest tenth. So we go one number past the decimal point is the 10th place. We look one past that, which would be the 1, which is the 100th place, to see if that's 5 or more. If it's not, we just get rid of all of that and leave it at 31.4. So our answer is just going to be 31.4. So 31.31.4, and that's going to be yards. Okay, so that concludes this question, 31.4 yards. So either formula that you use, you're still going to get 31.4 or 10 pi if you leave it in pi form. So use your formula sheet. It does help out. All right, what else we got? Oh, so that's the end. So if you understand what's going on, great. If you're not sure, write down your questions, bring them in tomorrow, and rewatch the video just in case. So here's a telephone number that can help you out with your homework. That's the dial the teacher homework helpline at 212-777-3380, Monday to Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Watch our show Math Time on Tuesdays on Optimum Cablevision and Peekskill at 4:30 to 5 p.m. on Channel 15. Don't forget, we have study videos on YouTube. You can always see my smiley face there. My channel name is Dan Robinson. Subscribe to us. Check us out. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube, and hopefully write us a comment if you like our videos. Let us know what we can do better. PKMS Math Prep 18 is our latest release, so check it out. It's a very good movie. And you can tweet me at drobmath1. Good luck on your test. I know you're going to do well. Keep watching those videos and keep practicing, because the more you practice, the better you get. If you want to study with me and like a copy of a worksheet on some of this stuff, just write me at robinsonmath@aol.com. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you got something out of it. Do good on your tests. Bye-bye.